Right, so still talking about Nigerian football, but moving over to Europe now. Nigerian striker Victor Osimhen has been warned against making a return against Lecce in the Serie A today by the Napoli medical team, who are hopeful that he will be able to return for the Champions League tie against AC Milan next week. Osimhen is eager to get back on the field, and according to him, he doesn't feel any pain after the injury and would have liked to be in the team to face Lecce, but was prevented from doing so by the medical team. According to Italian publication El Mattino, if it were up to Osimhen, he would have already taken part in the away match against Lecce. The striker feels good and doesn't feel any discomfort. However, it was the medical staff who stopped him because the injury is still there and hasn't completely healed. All indications point at a return for the Nigerian international for the match against a fellow Italian side, AC Milan, in the UEFA Champions League on the 12th of April, likely making an appearance on the bench and not certain to start, but this will be decided in the coming days. Spalletti has ruled the 24-year-old out of the upcoming league game against Lecce, but provided a positive update about the upcoming European tie. Napoli will look to return to winning ways after their setback against Milan, which marked their third defeat in Serie A this season. They were trashed 4-0 at the Estadio Diego Armando Maradona just last weekend. The first leg of the Champions League quarterfinals will be played at the San Siro, and the Partenopei will be keen to settle the score. So it's left to be seen how well Napoli do against Milan in that Champions League game. But talking about Champions League, one new face will be seen in the Champions League this season is Frank Lampard, who has returned to Chelsea as caretaker manager until the end of the season, following the sacking of Graham Potter, the Premier League club confirmed yesterday. The club's record goal scorer previously spent 19 months as manager at Stamford Bridge before being dismissed in January 2021. Lampard's return, while the club seeks a full-time replacement for Potter, would at least provide a boost for the fans who have seen their team struggle despite the spend of almost £300 million on new players in January. The former England midfielder has cult status at Stamford Bridge, and many fans were disappointed to see him fired by Roman Abramovich after a run of poor results. But of course, he got fired. They brought in Thomas Tuchel, and then they went on to win the Champions League. His first task will be preparing the side for Saturday's away trip to Wolves in the Premier League before next week's Champions League quarterfinal first leg against in-form Real Madrid. Lampard will know many of the players from his previous time in charge, but will also have to try to find the right blend of the new signings, something that was a big issue under Graham Potter. He also offers the 44-year-old, who scored 211 goals for Chelsea in all competitions during a trophy-leading 13 years as a player, a route back into coaching after he was sacked by Everton in January. Let's take a listen to Frank Lampard in his first press conference as Chelsea manager for his second time.
It's a pretty easy decision for me. This is my club in terms of my playing career and having coached here before. So I have a lot of emotions and feelings towards the club. I'm also a very practical person, and when you become a manager, you understand that you don't manage your own club, the club that you say is your club forever. And obviously I've been on a different path since I left Chelsea. But to come back in a time where the club have asked me to come and take the role, of course that's the most important thing, but also with a belief that I can come and help the cause in this period to the end of the season. So I'm delighted to get that opportunity, and I want to be, I'm thankful for that, to the people that have decided to give me that opportunity. I'm confident in myself. I have a good understanding of the squad. Of course, I've worked with a lot of them before, but also the training ground, the stadium, the fans, what Chelsea fans want, and I'll do my utmost in this period coming to give them what they want with my own hard work.
Interesting words there from Frank Lampard. He does know a large portion of the squad because many of them did play under him. A lot of Chelsea fans are already suggesting that the likes of Christian Pulisic could be back in the first team after having been frozen out a little bit under Potter. The likes of Mason Mount, who seems to have lost his place to Joao Felix and Mukayo Modric in recent weeks. So it's left to be seen the changes he's going to make in that team, but it's a really big squad. Since he's left, the likes of Badiashile at the back, Correa, they've joined the side, in midfield, Enzo Fernandez, and the likes. And of course, N'Golo Kante did come back against Liverpool, had a good game. So he's basically spoiled for choice. Although in front, they still struggle with regards to their number 9 because Kai Havertz isn't prolific enough, and there's been cause for him to be dropped. Anyway.